Hey guys! So this is our
Mukbang!
And if you don't know what a mukbang is, it's basically where you just eat a bunch of food and talk while you're doing it.
So we're going to be talking about our book.
So our book is called The Girl on the Train.
By Paula Hawkins.
The Girl on the Train.
By Paula Hawkins.
And the genre is a psychological thriller.
So first from Taco Bell.
Oh wait, can we eat Zaxby's first?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, so the first thing we got is Zaxby's. Pretty good.
We all got the same thing. We got a Big Zax snack meal.
And that is chicken and fries and bread.
Bailey doesn't like her bread because she's weird.
She's crazy.
Don't like bread.
I'm supposed to start. We were supposed to give a brief synopsis of our book. I really hope it's
Without trying to give anything.
to any spoilers away. The protagonist of the book is Rachel Watson, and she's a young troubled adult living in London, England, and she fantasizes about a seemingly happy couple that she watches every day on her morning train, and then all of a sudden the couple that she watches gets all messed up, and the girl goes missing, and she starts wondering what's happening, and she basically becomes she tries to help, and it's a huge mystery, and it's really interesting, so I definitely recommend it to y'all. But anyway, her world starts to change completely, and everybody who she thought that she knew starts to change as well, so it's really interesting.
And then a couple things that we liked about the book were how it was based in England, and that really just it was really cool to read because they had different vocab words and
Mom.
Bloody.
Bloody.
They would get mad.
Yeah,
And they talk about the X Factor and stuff.
Yeah,
It's really weird.
mm-hmm. And then one of the characters we really liked was Kathy, which is Rachel's flatmate.
Yeah.
And so instead of a
Roommate.
roommate or
A flatmate.
yeah, it's called a
But
flatmate.
England.
Kind of cool.
We liked her because she was just so nice to Rachel, and she opens up her home. And then a quote that we had for that was on page 8. It says,
Y'all, this chicken is good.
Kathy's a nice person in a forceful sort of way. So that pretty much is just Kathy's a really nice girl.
Who cares about?
She cares really
Rachel.
deeply about Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing was how the characters kept the story interesting. So they never stayed on the same.
Thank you.
Okay.
She's giving me her bread because nobody likes the Zaxby's bread.
I do. I ate mine.
That's
That's Bailey's.
Okay, Bailey's.
Okay, anyways.
Anyway,
Okay,
if you,
wait.
I don't know about y'all, but Zaxby's bread is the freaking, that's where it's at. That's
where it's at. The characters just keep the story interesting.
The characters keep the story interesting.
Yeah.
Because they all,
Change up really fast
Yeah.
for me. One of the, I mean, she's my favorite, but also not my favorite character. It's Megan.
which is the antagonist.
She's
kind of.
definitely
Yeah,
the most interesting.
She's basically the antagonist, I would say. She goes through these phases where she doesn't know if she really likes her life because she lives with her husband, Scott, and they have, if you're looking at it from an outside perspective, their life looks really good.
On paper, they have the perfect life.
Yeah.
They have the perfect relationship, perfect house.
But she still struggles with it because she doesn't know if it's what she wants, so she ends up running away, and it's really interesting. But
yeah.
but
And
that's the stuff that keeps the story interesting.
yeah. So another thing we thought was interesting was how you never know what's going on in someone's life. So that was a big theme that we saw throughout the book.
Theme.
Theme.
Yeah.
They always had different sides to the story.
Yeah,
Since
what's her face? Rachel always thought that Megan's life was perfect, but as the reader knows, it wasn't.
because in the book the chapters go by point of view, and so you can really see into each character's mind.
Some of the things that we didn't like about the book.
And it was hard to think of these because the book was really
It's a good book.
Yeah.
But Rachel was always stalking everyone.
No, she was weird.
A quote that we have about this is from Anna's perspective, which is Rachel's ex-husband's new wife.
Yeah. He cheated on her with the new wife.
Yeah. Okay, so the new wife said, at first the trains and then Rachel. Rachel watching us, turning up on the street, calling us up all the time. So this just shows how Rachel was always everywhere.
And it's from the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
First chapter to the end.
Yeah.
She's stalking these people.
She also always resorted back to alcohol when anything and everything was going wrong in her life. And
It talks about in the book how she started drinking when she was married to Tom. And I think that's kind of the reason he cheated on her.
Because she could never control herself.
Because he didn't want to be in the relationship anymore.
And because she started drinking because when her and Tom were trying to have kids and start a family, she was infertile, so she couldn't have children. So she thought something was wrong with her, and so she got depressed, and she started to drink.
That's another.
And I think he really wanted kids because he has kids with his new wife, Anna.
So another big theme was like depression. And alcoholism.
And addiction.
Yeah, but she would even call herself, like, she knew that she was an alcoholic, and she, like, there were some parts that she would try and fix it, but, like, she always went back to it.
Yeah.
Like, at the beginning of the investigation for Megan, she was doing good for quite a few, like, days, weeks.
Because she wanted to be there to help figure out what
Because she had something to keep her busy.
She hadn't had alcohol, which, like, not having alcohol for, like, a week doesn't seem like a big deal to, like, any normal person, but for her it was a huge deal because she was drinking every day, like day drinking,
multiple drinks a day.
Oh, also, like, another example of how her flatmate was so nice to her is because she would come home drunk all the time, like all
make
the time.
messes, not remember what she did.
Like one instance, she came home and I don't remember where this is in the book. It's in the beginning, but she threw up like on the stairs and didn't clean it up, and
she had her clothes all over the flat, and
her flatmate still let her live with it. From Taco Bell, I got nacho fries and a bean burrito. Nacho fries are so good, bro.
A quote that has her admitting that she's an alcoholic. It says, "I might be a barren, divorced, soon to be homeless alcoholic." So that's just proof that she was in fact an alcoholic.
And infertile.
Another thing that we disliked was how the plot jumped around from different dates. So, like, for the first chapter thing, which is not really a chapter, it's like...
Point of view.
Yeah. It's from Rachel's point of view, and it's on Friday, July 5th, 2013. But in the next point of view, or chapter, it's from Megan, and it's Wednesday, May 16th, 2012. So it goes back and it jumps between years and dates and stuff like that. And then there's also a lot of cheating on spouses. But I'm pretty sure that like everyone cheats in this story.
I'm pretty sure, except for Kathy and her boyfriend. They're good.
Yeah.
But
Kathy's good.
okay, so Rachel and her ex-husband, they were together for a few years after college, and they like moved into the cute little house. They had a perfect life, okay? And then she was starting to get infertile, and so they kind of like.
She started drinking alcohol.
She started drinking alcohol, and then Scott cheated on her with Anna, which is
Tom cheated on her with Anna.
Yeah.
You said Scott.
Sorry.
Tom
Her
cheated
husband,
on
Tom.
Rachel with Anna.
Yeah, Tom cheated on Rachel with Anna, which is now his wife, and now they have a kid.
Yeah.
And
it's
then,
a lot of drama.
It's kind of like a love triangle in a way.
It kind of is. It's like a love square.
Yeah.
Yeah, love square. Yeah, okay, and then the other couple is Megan and Scott.
Megan cheated on Scott.
Yeah.
Which Megan and Scott were like the perfect couple from Rachel's
She cheated on him with her therapist.
Yes. Okay, so a quote we have, this is from Rachel's point of view. She says, "I don't wish her ill, no matter how angry I was with her for cheating on Scott." So, once again, Rachel like drew out this perfect life for
So she was really mad at
Megan and Scott.
when
and
she
she was mad at Megan because she was like, "You're throwing away your perfect relationship."
In the beginning of the book, she didn't know that their names were actually Megan and Scott.
Yeah,
she had just seen them, Jess and Jason.
Yeah, Jess and Jason. And the reason she knows that that Megan is cheating on her is because
I'm really full, guys. I'm really full. I don't know about this.
When Rachel was on her train ride in the morning, she saw Megan outside of her house, and because she has so much time to watch them because her train stops right in front of her house for like a couple minutes to stop at a station, and then she keeps going. But one day,
I'm the only one like food.
one day, Megan was outside and she was with a man, and Rachel realized that it didn't look like Scott. It was another man, and so and then he kissed her, and she realized that she was cheating.
After Megan went missing, she went to his house and told him because nobody had known about that except her. Some questions that we want to talk about are what stood out about the writing, what is admirable about it, and what stylistic choices did we struggle with. Why are you guys laughing at me?
Because I was dancing with my taco.
And I was slurping my drink.
So the first thing that we've already mentioned a couple times is that it goes by point of view, not chapters.
This is very... Please put that in.
Excuse me.
What is that? It was a book. Point of view. This is very helpful because
so it goes by point of view, not chapters, which is something that we like. At the same time, like we don't like it, but we also do like it at the same.
No, we like the point of view.
We like
don't
it.
like we don't like the date.
Yeah,
Okay.
the point of view is helpful because you see everyone's perspective.
Yeah. And then another thing that we really like is that there's a lot of imagery. And one example is on the first and second page, actually. So, it says, the train crawls along, it judders past warehouses and water towers. What? Train crawls along, it judders past warehouses and water towers, bridges and sheds, past modest Victorian houses, their backs turned squarely to the track. And that's on page 1 and 2. And that just shows how the houses are way different from in England and then in America. Some symbolism in the book is on page 2 and 3, and it says, in the afternoons we'd sit at a bar drinking strong, bitter gin and tonics, watching swarms of beach footballs playing chaotic 25-a-side games on the low tide sands. And I did this because this is just one of the examples, but they talk about gin and tonic a lot in the book. Like,
Addiction.
that's why I think gin and tonic is a symbol of, like, her hardship, but also, like, a comfort for her. Like, she always goes back, which isn't a good thing, but, like, it's just what she goes back to when she needs comfort.
Security blanket.
Yeah, like a security blanket. The things that we struggle with are that, first of all, the story isn't in, I know. First of all, the story isn't in chronological order, which we already mentioned, but, like, that is really tough. Like, sometimes it'll go from, like, June to the next August, or, like,
Or
May.
from June to like the last.
Yeah, like, different points of time, and it's really confusing. And then, okay, and then now we're going to talk about why we would recommend this book to people and stuff.
So we would recommend this book to someone who loves a mystery or a thriller.
Mm-hmm.
So
It has a lot of intense parts,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
and
and it's
so
a,
if someone really likes intensity, I think it'd be good.
it's a really big investigation on like where Megan went and what happened to
And
her.
it's one of those books where you really don't know what's going on until the very end.
Yeah,
Like, you don't figure everything out until the
they
end.
have all these ties, and like obviously they're from different time points, and so they have all these ties that go together in the end and just really sum up the whole book and what happened to her and how it happened.
Oh my gosh! So that's our analysis of the book, but we're just gonna like chill and talk about it because
It was a good book.
yeah,
Yeah.
like honestly, such a good book.
It's a really good book. We're gonna try and not give any spoilers away because you really need to read it.
But if we do, we'll be like, spoiler! Yes.
Okay, so what was your most favorite character like in the whole book?
I feel like Megan's the most interesting because she's so complicated.
But like she's also like
I
pretty much missing almost the entire book.
don't
Yeah.
like Rachel,
But in the beginning, she was really like interesting.
yeah, I don't like Rachel, but I feel like she's like she knows like
I
she's always in the middle of it.
the only reason that I don't like Rachel that much is because I feel like
She doesn't need to go back to alcohol. Like really, that's the whole thing.
that is First of all, she has a serious like alcohol addiction problem.
Like serious.
Yeah. But also I feel like she just like gets involved with problems that aren't really hers to get involved with, you know?
Yeah, like the whole like investigation thing. Like she can answer some questions because she knows like
But
a
she
lot.
thinks that she can help solve the whole
But she
entire
thinks
thing.
she's a cop
Yeah.
while she's going
Yeah.
through it.
But also like I kind of feel bad for her because she was cheated on.
And she
Yeah.
doesn't really have anybody.
And I feel like that's another big problem why she like turned to alcohol so much, because she didn't really know what else to do with her life because she was so used to like being with her husband.
and she doesn't really have anybody because she doesn't like her parents.
They live somewhere, but like Kathy's
Well,
relation
oh yeah,
to
she
her,
doesn't have a good relationship with her parents.
yeah, and like Kathy was like
She-
a girl she went to college with.
Yeah.
And
But
so-
Rachel pushes her away because
But really,
because of the
they were
alcohol.
only roommates for like a couple, for like the first semester, I guess, or like the first year, and then they didn't see each other the whole rest of the like college experience. So
Yeah.
they kind of like met back up, and she was like, "Please help me." And Kathy, that's just a good example of how like good of a person Kathy is, and how she took her in and really saw how she was like hurting.
Rachel would always push her away because of the alcohol.
I'm just to say, Kathy was very supportive too. Like when the investigation started and Rachel like stopped drinking alcohol, you could really like tell how gross, that just juiced on me. You could really tell how like Kathy was like supportive of her, and she was like, when Rachel was telling her like she hadn't drank in a little while, and she like, you can notice too, like, because her whole like face changed and her attitude changed and her energy.
Like, in the book, we're like, oh yeah, her face changed. Like, you could
She
see
said that, like,
it.
well,
Yeah.
your face has all this acne and looks bad when you're drinking.
Yeah, it does. I feel like it just really, like, and it just honestly changed her as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like...
And Kathy really noticed.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel bad for Kathy. I also, like, sympathize with her because, like, she knew that Rachel had a drinking problem, but she didn't want to kick her out because, like, when a person's going through something like that, you don't want to just, like, say, okay, I don't want you anymore.
Like, she
Like,
was
if something
frustrated
would've
at
happened
first.
to her, then she would feel like it was her fault.
Yeah.
She was frustrated at first when that big thing happened, but, like, that had happened multiple times before, so she had a really good patience.
Yeah.
So it really took her that to just send her over the edge, but she still always came back to her roots and was, like,
Yeah.
really nice about it and was like, it's okay if you need to stay.
I feel like that can also go along with the theme of, like, you don't really know what's going on in anybody else's
Yeah.
life. Because, like,
Just being there for someone to help.
like, even if you don't agree with the way that they're living their life, like, just simply being there
Because
for somebody.
Rachel did not open up to Kathy at all.
Mm-mm.
And so...
like, she didn't really tell her about Megan or anything about that.
Yes.
Like, Kathy was completely in the dark with
Yeah,
her.
I mean, Rachel didn't even have a job anymore, and she didn't tell Kathy. She took the train. That's why she took the train every day, is so that she could cover up the fact that she doesn't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with Kathy not even knowing anything about Rachel, she was just so open
And
to
also,
helping
like,
her.
Yeah.
I didn't finish my mozzarella stick.
Me neither.
Neither did I. I have a lot.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank
I feel like
you
we're
so
freaking
much.
vloggers.
Yeah.
I know.
It was honestly really fun, like, eating food and talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I had way more fun.
But I feel like we weren't like gross. I feel like we didn't like
Yeah,
smash around. or
apologize
anything.
for that burp in the middle of it.
Which is very,
Thanks for
I really hope
watching.
you guys take interest in this book. It's really good. I
Yeah.
definitely recommend it. It's one of
I
my
do
favorite
too.
books I've ever read. Also, the author has a bunch of other books that she's written that are really good too. So,
Yeah, they're kind of
Check it
similar.
out.
She has like a similar style.
Girl on the Train,
So-
super good. 10 out of 10 recommend.
hmm
And really hope that we got to get
And I
grade on
mean-
this.
I mean, even if you don't like mysteries and thrills, I think it's still an interesting book to read. Like, and it could probably change your perspective because this author's really good at like writing, and so I think just the way that she words it and the way that she explains most situations will really interest you.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's it for our video.
thanks for watching.
Bye.
Which is very,